If your mental health is not important to you, you can move to the next video. But if you think that this is important and we need to talk about your mental health, then stay. We are in the month of May, the mental health month, and it's important for us to be able to identify what are those things that is leading to mental health conditions. Mental health condition is real. People are going through a lot of stresses in the world that we have today, and there are a lot of things leading to these various forms of stress, from personal challenges to global challenges to economic issues to financial issues to relationship issues to personal goals. So many things happening simultaneously, insecurity, inflation, and the likes. And we are going through this high level stress, especially in Africa and in Nigeria, where I come from. So, how do you manage this? I'll be talking about two approach. We have the problem focused strategy and the emotion focused strategy. But before I go into that, we need to understand how this thing graduates. We always talk about prevention. Prevention is better than cure. The first is it starts from issues of stressors. Those that I've mentioned earlier, you can list various forms of stressors in the comment section. These stressors, if you don't manage them, it leads to anger, it leads to anger, it leads to issues of frustration, anxiety. You see, if a dad coming from home getting angry because of he went through traffic. Normally the traffic, what happened? But because it has affected him mentally, he gets home tired, frustrated, and getting any little thing triggers the anger. Not only our dad, even our moms do that too. So it's a form of stressor. So when you're unable to manage your stressors very well, it's graduate to anger, frustration, and anxiety. From that, if you're unable to manage that and you keep living with that, not being able to cope with it, it graduates to burnout, languishing. From burnout and languishing, if you're unable to manage that successfully, then it graduates to depression. From depression, if you're unable to manage your depression very well, it graduates to, in late term, we call it madness, but to make it touch, we call it psychotic disorder. Or it can lead to medical issue, heart attack, heart failures, and it can lead to suicide. So why am I saying this? The first is to identify our stressors. Being able to identify our stressors, then we can apply this to approach the problem focused strategy. When you look at what are those things that is giving me anxiety, that is making me anxious, what are those things that gets me angry, that makes me angry in just a tip of the finger, what are those things that makes me frustrated, what are those stressors, how do I cope with them, list them down, itemize these stressors, look at how do I address this. Okay, I need to find solution to a particular problem. I'm having a relationship with my friends. I'm having financial issues. How can I solve this in the next 1 week? On a daily basis, write down your goals. On a weekly basis, write down what you want to do for the month. What it helps you to do is that since you itemize these things, it's easier for you to think properly because you have relieved your brain of the thought of thinking of all these things by listing them down. So your brain is able to do some other things of finding solutions and giving ideas on how to solve this problem. Sit down once in a while, write them down, itemize them down, and think of solutions. Follow up on your solutions. That is what problem focused strategy from the word is focused on the problem. But for solution focused strategy is looking at for emotion focused strategy, is looking at the emotional aspect of it by doing exercise, pep talk, give yourself some pep talk, being optimistic about life, looking at the emotional part of it. What happens when you get triggered by stressor? There are a lot of responses that happen in our body. I don't want to go deep into that now because that's not the focus of today. But you can use emotion focused strategy like doing exercise, going for a walk, yoga, give yourself pep talk, your hobbies, what do you like doing, going out on vacations. All these are focused on the emotional aspect of the stressor. And I believe that by God's grace, our mental health will not leave us or will not put us in psychiatric hospital. Thank you. See you in the next video.